Yo, yo, yo. Got one person in here. Oh my gosh. Today I finally learned how to do fix paint fade on a car. Hold on, my light's hella. Why is my light so? Turn this down a little bit. All right, that looks way better. I finally learned how to do paint fade on a car. I went today to the store and I bought everything. It was on my friend's car. He let me do like a little trial on it. And at first I was like, damn, this is like super hard. Let me see if I could show you before. Like it was crazy. This thing was jacked up. I'm about to make a video about it today, actually. This is what it looked like. That was the paint fade. You can kind of see how bad it is. And then this was the final result. Watch. Check it out. That's what it looked like at the end. So that was after I fixed the paint fade. And I just learned that all today. I literally bought the hand sander and all that stuff today. And it's honestly, it really wasn't that hard. A lot of people make it out to seem like paint fade is super hard to fix. And I was honestly surprised. It took me around I think 4 hours for everything because I do the clear coat, all the spray. But it came out looking so good. And I was like, damn, I can really start. This is something I can really start doing. This morning, though, I was so mad. I woke up at 6:30 in the morning because I was supposed to drive to San Jose. And as soon as I'm halfway there, tell me why my client then texts me and says, oh, I have to cancel. I was like, dude, are you serious? Like, this happens all the time where a client will have to cancel last minute. And me personally, I don't really charge a makeup fee. Some people like to charge a makeup fee. I never really charge a makeup fee just because, I was saying the other day when it came to travel fee, I just really just enjoy going out of my way and doing stuff. Some people are, miles away from me. I've been damn near probably the farthest I've been is almost 80 miles. There and back was 160. And honestly, I don't even care. It's just fun to me to go out there and do what I had to do. But today I was kind of happy because it was a win-win, a win-loss, honestly. Because my client canceled. I got to sleep. And on top of that, I got to learn how to fix paint fade. The video honestly came out really, really good. As far as everything goes, the one thing I would recommend next time I do it is there were scratches on the paint. And when there's scratches on the paint, you want to put Bondo to fill it in. And I didn't fill it in. I just kind of sprayed over it. So after it kind of looked like shit at the end, when the light hit it, I was like, damn, bro, you can see all these fucking scratches. I'm like, fuck. But my friend didn't care. His car's a shitter anyway. So when I did it, he was hella chill with that anyways. He was like, oh, it looks fine. But to me, I'm hella meticulous. So when I saw the scratches, I was like, damn, this shit kind of looks ass. But in reality, it looks really, really good. I'm about to drop the video either tonight or tomorrow. But man, I've been getting so busy because of social media. Everything's been going crazy. And I was telling some kid from Minnesota called me 2 days ago and we were talking on the phone. Any of you guys always call me or something, I always have time for you guys. It's no bother whatsoever. Some people are like, oh, I don't know if I should reach out. Bro, reach out. Just give me a call. If you have questions about anything, so I'm doing this, but just in general, just give me a call because I'll always answer. My phone number's on there. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I put my phone number out there to thousands of people, but I don't really give a shit. I played Xbox. I got swatted before and everything, so it doesn't really matter to me. But anyways, me and this kid were talking, and he was asking how do you do your marketing? What's your marketing? I was like, honestly, social media is the best way to go. Get the meta glasses. It's crazy how good POVs and showing behind the scenes are. Because when I first started, I didn't really know my audience as far as when I'm doing social media because everyone has a different audience. Some people like, ASMR. Some people like just normal stuff. But for me, I realized my audience was me talking and me showing my personality and just kind of being out there and just having fun and kind of really showing the whole steps and the process of what I'm doing, right? And that's what I was kind of telling the kid. I was like, look, when you're doing this whole marketing and stuff you're trying to figure out, you should really think about doing stuff that shows your personality, who you are, because at the end of the day, you're trying to show yourself through your work. He was like, damn. He's like, no, yeah, I'm gonna start doing that because I know when I was doing my job with my boss, that's the kind of thing she was telling me. She was like, you really need to go get these meta glasses and really show what you're doing, what it is you're doing, because some people, yeah, they see, okay, it's before and after car is clean, but that's not really anything to make me want to go buy or do what I want to do. But when I started using the glasses, it really started helping me. And now it's to the point where I'm so busy. I have people calling me from all over. And I see in my comments, people from Germany and all over are asking me yo, Dean, can you come clean my car from Germany? I'm like, damn, Germany. It's honestly so real. It's unreal to me when I look at my comments sometimes and I see all you guys tell me where you guys are from. It's so neat because I'm like, wow, this is a dream come true, seeing everything in that's why I'm here too, to help. And any questions you guys have, to honestly go out there and do it. And then yesterday, I was actually in Fairfield, and this guy, he's like a really, some of my clients, I have a couple of clients that like love to negotiate. I'm not really a big negotiator because it's kind of like, you want to get the car done, you want to get, but this guy loves to negotiate. So we had to sit there first I had to wake up and drive like an hour to him. And then when I got there, he told me that, everything he wanted me to do was kind of too expensive. He's like, no, he's like, I'd rather do something else. And I was like, okay, like, what do you want to do? Because I always give them the benefit of the doubt, like, let's figure it out. And then after that, it was still a problem. We went from 11 cars, from me working on 11 cars to me working on 4, and then me back to 11. And I'm like, yo, dude, what's going on? Like, are we going to do the cars or not? And then he ended up being a really nice guy. A lot of people at times, they come off some type of way, and then you really start to get to know them. And then you're like, you know what? They're not as whatever when I first met them, not what I think they were, right? But tomorrow, I'm so happy because like my brother, he's going to bring back his other car, and we're going to work on the paint fade on his car as well. Because today when I worked on it, it came out looking really, really good. And honestly, I'm really surprised on how good the paint fade came out because, like I said, so many people, the biggest thing people always call me is paint fade. How do you fix paint fade? And I'm like, I don't know, because for me, I tell them, look, honestly, for paint fade, you can't ceramic coat it. You can't do any of that. If your paint is all faded like that, you got to send to the shop. They got to sand it down, respray, and do all this stuff. And even for my bigger scratches, when I work with a lot of clients, it's kind of frustrating because these scratches are so deep sometimes that to me, it doesn't come out as perfect as I want it to come out. But now I'm kind of learning how to do this whole steps of this paint fade and really filling it in. And I'll kind of take you guys through the whole steps of what I did today. So like we went to the stores for all my people in the Bay Area. There's a place in Alameda that does custom paint matching. And we went in there and you give them your VIN number first. If you guys are ever trying to fix scratches or anything like that, the first thing you want to do is you want to give them the paint code. The paint code is going to be on the door. And then what you do is you can take it to your dealership or a paint place, like auto body shop, and they'll give you the paint code, right? And then from there, you can just, honestly, you get the paint code, they'll give you the paint, you take it back to the place, your client has all the stuff, car's all whatever, cleaned off. You want to make sure you wash the car. And then for today, for the paint fade, what we did is it was on plastic. Usually if it's on metal, then you want to maybe use primer. But for today, it wasn't even that serious. We just plastic, so I just sanded it down. After I sanded it down, you want to make sure you put a degreaser on the car because then I guess it gets all screwed up. But we were moving really good. I put it on, I degreased it. Then after that, I sanded it down really good. I was spraying it on. And then after I did all that, I finally put like a first layer of paint on it. And then I put the clear coat on it. And after I put all the clear coat, the car came out looking really, really good. Like me and my friend were shocked because he was like, dude, just try it. Here's my car. Go crazy. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. This car's a shitter anyways. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do it. And there was an older lady a couple months ago that I worked on. This is the scariest thing to this day that's ever happened to me. It was my first time ever detailing a Porsche. And this Porsche was like a 2024, $100,000, had to be a $200,000 Porsche. Sick ass Porsche. I'm so excited. The lady's all like, okay, take care of it. I'm going to trust you. You're a young kid. I don't know if I should trust you with a Porsche. And I'm like, no, I got it. I was like J. Cole in it. I was telling her I could wash the Porsche. I've never even touched something like that. Everything else was like Toyota Corollas and Priuses, and all love to them. But like, it wasn't no damn Porsche. And this was wintertime. So I'm washing the Porsche, right? And I get it all clean. I'm thinking it looks badass. All of a sudden, she turns on the engine, and I'm about to take off. She tipped me like, I think it was $50. I was super excited. I got a really good tip. I'm driving off. She's like, excuse me, the engine's smoking. Dude, my heart hit the floor. Like, I said, huh? I stopped the car. I ran over and I'm looking at the engine, and she like turns it on, and sure enough, the engine starts smoking. And I'm tripping out. I'm like, oh my God, I just ruined this car. The engine's smoking, all this shit. Like, what am I going to do? So finally, I'm starting to look at it like I know what I'm going to do. I don't know what to do. I don't work on cars like this. And this is my first time ever working an expensive car. She's like, my engine's smoking. And so my dad works in cars. He works in the car. So I call my dad. I'm freaking out. I'm like, dude, that's fucked up. And this is before I even bought insurance and all that stuff. And my parents been telling me, like, you need to buy your insurance. You need to do all this. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm not trying to pay X amount I wasn't trying to pay like whatever, $50 a month for insurance. I'll screw it. Like, I'll take my time. I'm not going to break anything. Sure enough. And that was the day I said it too. My dad was like, he's like, you better buy fucking insurance because your ass is going to break something and you're going to be paying hella. And I was like, nah, like whatever. Sure enough, here I am. I thought I blew the engine out of this Porsche. And so I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. The lady's like, okay, well, let's let the car sit overnight. If the engine's still smoking, then I don't know. You're gonna have to pay something. I'm looking at her. I'm like sweating. I'm like tripping out. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't even get emotional. I'm damn near about to cry. I'm like, holy shit, I just fucked up this Porsche. And so luckily, I didn't really, the smoke on the Porsche that I thought I broke. It wasn't black smoke. Like I thought it'd be black smoke. It started coming out really clear, like foggy type of stuff. And so the next day, I go over there because I want to check up and see if I really damaged this Porsche. And we turn it on and nothing comes out. So I'm like, damn, okay, thank my heart felt so much better. And I realized I didn't even damage the engine actually. What happened was, I guess water got into the Porsche because I guess the Porsche is in the back. And I thought, my dumb ass thought I was cleaning, like I was trying to get all the dust out with my power washer. And I got some water got into the engine and it had landed on the engine block. And when she turned it on, it started creating steam. So it looked like I blew the engine out. Oh my God, my heart. I was so relieved when I found out that I didn't break the engine. And to this day, every time I do Porsches, I get like PTSD. I stay the hell away from the engine. Like I hand wipe it off. I don't even just go in with the power washer because I was so scared that time that happened. But that had to be the scariest time. And then one other time was I was actually working on my dad's car and I had to move the car. And what happened was when I backed it out of the driveway, I thought I had hit a rock because there was a little scratch. And luckily, when I did that, I was able to actually buff it out and fix all that stuff because I was like, because at the time I was, I'm sorry, I know how to buff all this stuff, but I hit it. I was like, shit. So I was able to actually buff it out and fix all this. If he's watching this, he don't know about that, but it happened. And yeah, I was able to fix it. But it was definitely something crazy. But for real, lately, I think a lot of my clients, it's been going good as far as building my business and stuff. I know the biggest thing right now I'm trying to do is definitely venture into more of like streaming and stuff like that. And really just trying to talking about what it is I do and just answering a lot of these questions that people are having. I know the biggest one for a lot of people is my scratch process on like the whole thing on what I really do as far as scratches. And for when I go meet a client, most of the time the scratches, a smart trick for scratches is if you get alcohol and you put it on the scratch, if the scratch ends up staying or it shows, then that means if it disappears, if the scratch disappears, then you're good to go. You don't have to worry about sanding or anything. But if you put the alcohol on the scratch and it actually shows the whole time, you might need touch-up paint. And usually for touch-up paint, what I do is I put a little bit on first and then I sand it down. And then after that, I'll put a little bit on, dry it down, sand it down. But it's just kind of that, keep repeating that whole process. And then once you do that, you can buff it all out. And then it comes out looking pretty good. But at the end of the day, I always tell my clients, scratches aren't always going to be perfect. If you're looking for perfection, you might as well go to a body shop because the body shop's going to be able to take care of it and make it look really good. But for scratches, I know like the ones that I do, they're usually pretty small and nothing's really too crazy. And for like bigger ones, like bigger draws, like paint transfers, sometimes it's kind of hard because the paint is really on there. So you have to use different types of pads and your pads wear off. Yesterday, I did my client's truck and the hardest part, I feel like the hardest clients to work with are clients that have really high expectations because sometimes I was working with the client yesterday and he was like, hey, Dean, I got this really old truck, but I want it to come out looking brand new. And I'm like, okay, I got it. So like, it was a little test. So I was buffing it all out and I had a yellow pad and I buffed so much of his truck that the pad actually turned brown. It was brown. I was like, oh my gosh, like his truck was brown and all this stuff. And it came out looking super shiny. And he looked at it, he was blown away. He was like, oh my gosh, that looks really, really good. And he's like, well, how did you guys do that? And I was like, well, I showed him like the whole process and stuff. And a lot of it too with clients that I realized is just informing them because some of these people, they expect things, but they don't know the whole process. So it's easier for you to really explain. That's why when I'm selling to someone or I'm trying to explain someone something, I don't try to force them to buy what it is I want the service I'm selling, right? I inform people all the time. The way I sell is not really maybe how everyone else sells, but I'm very big on informing people. I give you the information. I tell you the information. At the end of the day, it's for you to decide. If you think this is the right fit, it's the right fit. For example, a lot of times people say, oh, ceramic coatings, they're expensive. At the end of the day, those services are really expensive. So I try my best to just inform my clients and educate them on what it is that I'm selling. And I tell them, look, the best advice my dad's ever told me when I was really scared, talking about people with these big prices and stuff. Like, I didn't know how to sell ceramic cones that are thousands of dollars. Like, how do I even approach this? Because I'm afraid that I'm going to get a no. And the best advice I've ever got was, at the end of the day, you got to remember, you're the professional. You're a professional. This is your profession, right? So these people are coming to you, and you're helping them, educate them on what it is they're looking to get done. They might know something, but they don't know everything. And that's why they hire you. That's why they're going to. And after I heard that, it made everything so much easier as far as talking to people, and really just, I didn't look at it as, okay, I'm trying to sell this or I'm selling that. I looked at it as, I just educate and I just talk about what I love and what it is I do. So when I talk about a ceramic coating, or I talk about something I'm trying to do, I'm just reiterating what it is I already know. And it's just like, I just tell them, look, the ceramic coating does this, it does this, does that. And what is it you're trying to look for? You want to ask qualifying questions. So I ask a lot of questions that can kind of build it up to what it is I want. It's my dog. But a lot of the times people go about the wrong way. When I first started, way back when I was trying to sell ceramic coatings, I got so caught up in the price. Like, okay, if I sell 10 ceramic coatings, I'll make $10,000 a month. That was my mindset going into, okay, if I sell this many, I'll make this amount a month. Every time I would go to a client, I was always trying to upsell them, and I would always fail. I was always trying to upsell, and I would always fail, because at the end of the day, I wasn't really trying to be in the best interest of my client. I was in the best interest of me, and that was the wrong way to go about it. I was selling the wrong way. So when I changed my attitude on inform and let them decide on what it is, then it made everything so much better. It didn't feel like I was forcing anything. I feel like a lot of times too, when I'm on the phone with people and they're trying to sell me or talk to me about something, I always feel like I'm pressured to do it. And I don't really want to feel pressured to do it, right? At the end of the day, it's a service I'm selling. The biggest part of it, the experience of it, is the service, the experience you have going to buy a car. If you go to the car lot and the salesman pressures you and you don't buy a car and he gives you the worst experience ever, I promise you're not going to go back. But if you go there and you're not for sure you're going to buy it, but the salesman gives you the best time ever, he's there, how's everything going? He's talking more than just the car. He's talking about how's your family, how your parents do, all this stuff. That's going to make you feel like, you know what, they really do care more than about just selling the car. And it's going to make you want to come back. And a lot of the time, that's what I try to do as far as my business. I really try to look for building that connection with that client and make it less about the car, but more about the whole experience as a whole. I want to make sure they have the best experience ever. And that means something's not right. I got to go back. I go back. One time I was working on a car and I missed the whole spot of the panel, the whole spot. Like, I don't know what happened. There was a dirt all over the panel, and my client had called me. He said, "Hey, Dean, I think you missed the spot." And I was like, "Oh, crap." And at first I was like, okay, like, what do I even do? I went back and I swatched the entire car. And one of my friends goes, "Yo, why'd you wash the entire car? Like, what was the point of that?" And I was like, it shows to me, if I can just redo the whole entire car, it's better than just, go and fix that one panel. Because at first I thought, okay, I can just go back and fix that one panel. But after that, I was like, when I got there, I was like, I'm just going to wash the entire car and fix the problem. Because at the end of the day, they're paying for a service and they paid the money. They should get the quality that I say I'm going to give. And so I washed the entire car, I redid it, and it looked amazing. And after that, he referred me to a bunch of people, because you never know who you're going to meet. Honestly, you should never judge a book by its cover. And one time I did that. This guy, he pulled up next to me and he asked for my card, and I said, okay. And he had like this Honda and it was kind of beat up, and I didn't really think anything of it. I'm thinking, okay, like, what is, I'm not sure, this is whatever. And so he tells me, he says, okay, he's like, here's my address. He's like, if you can meet me at my house at this time, that would be great. And I'm thinking, okay, this guy's got a beat up Honda. It's nothing crazy. And so I pull up, I finish my job and I'm getting to the house, and there's this big ass mansion, like big as hell. It's like a freaking castle. It's got gates, it's got cameras, got all this shit. And I'm not parked out. I'm parked into the house that I thought that I was going to do, right? And I'm waiting for the guy who had to go pick up his daughter. And so, I'm waiting. I'm looking at this damn house. It's got security cameras. It looked like a Bill Gates house. It was ginormous. And I'm thinking, damn, like, I wish I could detail that guy's house. Like, I got to detail this guy that's got a Honda, like Honda Civic. Like, are you serious? And so all of a sudden, he pulls up in his Honda and he goes, okay, follow me. I'm like, follow you? And so, we drive around the block, and here we pull up to these gates. And I'm looking at the house. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, this is the guy's house. This guy has the house. So he opens the gates up. He had the biggest house I've ever seen. It was big as hell. We pull up. He had me, he had all these Porsches and stuff, and I was working on it. And I was like, holy crap, like this is awesome. And from there, we built like a really good connection on just everything we did. And I did his Porsche. I did all these cars he had. And I was so stoked because from when I first met him, I was thinking of something else. I was like, okay, this guy just has a Honda Civic. But after I met him, when I saw everything, I was like, I'm never gonna judge a book by its cover again. Like this is crazy. And honestly, that's the beauty of what I do. And I love my detailing business because the people you meet along the way, you meet so many different people. There's so many different connections you have. If you ever need anything, like at one point I wanted to start a clothing brand. And I had a client that actually knew how to design clothes, and they helped me make that. I was having trouble on my website, and it's just you create these links, and you're able to go back to it. And I feel like it's different if you just went there, washed the car, said goodbye, and you left, and you never really cared to ask how they're doing. If you go out of your way to really talk to your client, figure out who it is they are and what they do and everything, you never know down the line how that might affect you in a positive way. And I know I learned that from when I first started my business. It was kind of hard for me because I was always the kid that I told my dad, hey, can you order for me, or can you do this, can you do that? And he would always push me to be like, no, Dean, you got to order. Like, you got to be able to talk to people. Before, I used to hate going on the phone with people. Like, for telling a coach I was late, I would hate having to get on the phone and be like, hey, coach, I'm going to be a couple minutes late. That was the scariest thing ever. I never wanted to talk to people on the phone. Text was my best friend because I felt like I was safe. I realize now, working with my clients, that I rather call them because it's more professional to me, and I feel like I can really be there and understand what it is they want, and I can hear it. Text is one thing. I feel like text gives a lot of miscues. Like sometimes I read text and I'm like, damn, this client mean it like this. So I just call them. I always call my clients. Even if like they text me, hey, are you free? I just call them. Or if they have a question they want to call, I always call my clients. And I feel like it's just so much easier to talk and figure them out rather than just going back and forth on text. Because I know as far as detailing, it's so hard. It's so hard to find, that's why I was thinking about actually getting a booking appointment, because for me, I suck at responding sometimes, but like GoDaddy and all these websites, AI is your best friend. I used AI to respond to all my clients, and it's so quick. Boom, boom, boom. I have clients literally telling me, yo, Dean, you respond so fast. I was so impressed. And it's the fact that I'm able to use AI to do all of that. Appreciate it, Andrew. Oh, that's awesome. Much love, much love. I know. Every time I drop a video, I have so much fun too. The excitement of dropping a video is literally the best thing ever. Every time I have so much joy staying up and creating videos, it's almost like an excitement. It's like an adrenaline rush when I post a video, because I'm like, okay, I'm so excited to wake up the next day and see everything and show everybody. It's like, I feel like an artist, right? I'm painting, and I can't wait for the unveil. And the unveil is like always showing you guys everything I do. And one of my clients actually said I should start going on live and kind of doing that during my detailing. I don't know if you guys would even like that, because it kind of gets boring if I went on live. But I'm definitely thinking about doing something like that where I go on live during my car detailing and kind of go from there. The whole time when I first started, the one thing I love doing is going back into my detailing archives and looking at where I started, because my dad's biggest thing is, who are you? Where are you from? What you do? Oh, my name is D Lopez, and I'm a detailer. I do mobile detailing. So I started my business about a year ago. I played college baseball. I played baseball my entire life, and then I decided to stop playing baseball and focus on my detailing business. And after I took that big jump, I was doing really good in baseball. Coach was saying I was gonna do good things and everything like that. And I decided to stop playing baseball and focus on my detailing career. And honestly, my whole life story has been kind of crazy. I was diagnosed when I was in first grade with dyslexia, right? So I couldn't read, I couldn't write, I sucked at school and all that stuff. And I kind of, for anyone that's been in the stream since the first time I streamed, sound like a broken record. But to this person who obviously hasn't heard, that's kind of my story. And my whole life I've been having to learn and navigate differently than others because I'm dyslexic, right? And when I first was diagnosed with dyslexia, I always kind of looked at it as something that was holding me back from my for my true potential. Like I wasn't as smart as others. All these kids are getting A's and going to great schools. And, I had sports, but other than that, I wasn't really anything else. So I decided to do a business and just go full-fledged into it and grind it. And I ended up, really focusing on my detailing business. And after I stopped playing baseball, my dad and I had a come to his meeting. He really told me, he's like, look, you got to focus in. So I started grinding YouTube, and I bought these the meta glasses I record, and I uploaded it on YouTube one of these days, and it got 14 million views. And now I'm here. It all played out. And the biggest thing I could take away is, my family and I are really close. So we have I always talk to my parents and stuff about how to learn and how to get better at my craft, because in the day, it's anything you're doing, detailing, your business, school, life, you're always working on something. And I always like to relate to my sports. In baseball, your swing's never going to be perfect. You might be perfect one day, but the next day it could feel a whole different way. And it's all about adjustments, right? Same thing in business. Sometimes I'm doing so good and I feel like I'm on the top of the world. I'm getting all these clients. Everybody's calling me. I'm doing so damn good. And then the next day or the next month, I'm dry. And I'm like, damn, but it's all about adjustments. It's always about learning how to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And I know for when I got diagnosed with dyslexia and like my whole learning process, it was that I started to realize that being dyslexic or whatever the case is, it wasn't anything holding me back. It was actually a superpower. I looked at the world differently. I was able to think outside the box and think differently than other people thought. And now I actually talk to a lot of my friends who have the same kind of thing, and I tell them the same thing. You just got to learn. It's like your superpower, right? At the end of the day, everybody has a superpower, and that's what makes them great. Some people, they just haven't figured it out yet. And at the time when I first started my business, I didn't know what it was I was doing. A lot of my friends, they have a clear path on what they want to do, right? They're very locked in. They want to be a doctor. They want to do this. My thing's kind of like all over the place. Like I like to say, one time I was talking to my girlfriend's friend, his dad, and he kind of sat me down and we were talking. He goes, dude, you just seem like you're all over the place. Like, what do you even want to do? And I kind of laughed at it. At the time I laughed at him, and like just joking, like that, but I just kind of laughed. And I said, you know what? I honestly don't know, but I know one thing is that I love to learn as much as I can. Before I even had a business, I never had a job, so I did stocks. Before stocks, so honestly, to that question, when I say dry, it feels like for a 9 to 5 for me, it never was ever going to work out because I was a little bit different. Like I said, I was playing sports, so I never had time to do actual job. And when I started the detailing business, I was so determined to get it done and do it that when I would feel like things were going the right way, I would sit down, I would figure out how I can make it better. And sometimes I feel like, yeah, I could have went and I could have got a 9 to 5 and had something that was promising, right? Because at the end of the day, business and stuff like that's never promising. You never know if 1 month's gonna be great, the next month can be terrible, and then the next month your business could just tank, right? And I just always related myself to something that I knew so well, which is sports, and especially in the sport that I played. I knew that, okay, 1 week I'm gonna be 10 for 10, and the next week I might be 0 for 10. But it's all about adjustments, like I was saying. So I always look at my business as adjustments, how I can learn and get better. And I honestly, it sounds crazy, I love when I don't have any clients. And I don't mean it, I don't love it in the sense like I want that. I love it in the sense that I learn from that. So I see, okay, why am I not getting clients? Or it pushes me and it keeps a fire in me to keep going. Because I feel like some people, if you're always getting success, then you start lowering your guard you start forgetting like the true grind sometimes. And it's like, okay, like everything's so easy. Everything's coming to me. And then all of a sudden when you're starting to fail, it's kind of like you can't handle failure. So I feel like it gives me like a reminder and it humbles me when I'm not perfect, because at the end of the day, I'm never going to be perfect. My business is never going to be perfect. It's always going to be up and down, up and down, up and down. But the goal is to keep it in a trend where it's going up and then it pulls back, but it's always going up. And that's why I never really wanted to go to 9 to 5, because I wanted to do something on my own. I've never even worked a 9 to 5. I've never worked an actual job. I've always been this is my first business ever. It's the first time I ever got money. And I laugh because Before this, I was given everything, if I'm being completely honest, because I was playing baseball and sports. So anything, if I needed some, go get some food, obviously my parents gave it to me. I didn't understand really the value of money until I got my first check. It's crazy to think, people always, it's a big thing, you got to understand the value of money. You got this, that. When I got when I started last year, I was doing cars for $20. Not even that, $10 off for a car. I was washing a car for $10. And I still remember this day. It wasn't my family member. It was a random person that called me to wash their car. Okay. It was in Stockton. I was washing this car in 120 degrees. Okay. And this is perfect. If you're still here, this is why the 9 to 5 question. I'd rather do what I do now. That's just me. I remember he handed me it was $15. He handed me $15. He handed me $15 and a $5 tip. And after he handed that to me, something like went from the top down. I realized right then and there what it meant to appreciate time and appreciate money and really be thankful for the opportunities that are given to you. And I knew I did this. Like, I built this business. I did something. Like, for once, this is mine. Like, this $15 isn't $15 I got for my birthday. This isn't $15 I got for Christmas. This is $15 I busted my ass for 4 hours. It took me to wash this damn car, but I got $15. Man, that $15 felt more than all the birthday, Christmas, Easter, all the money in the entire world. Like, it felt that good. And on top of that, I felt it like made me want to push harder to make my business that much better. And for me, I just never felt like a 9 to 5 for me would be something that would give me that type of drive, or I wanted to build something on my own. And same thing, 100% respect to 9 to 5, because it's just like starting as an employee and then working your way up to a manager. I know for 100% it's the same thing. %. So when I started it, it actually wasn't, I didn't look it for the money, right? I got the money and I was so stoked and happy that I got it, right? But the money didn't mean anything to me. And even now it doesn't mean anything to me, really. My prices, my prices are good. Like, they obviously are not what they were back then. I've been able to create my craft, but from then and now, I've always had the same mindset in that I want to get my craft. That's all about my craft. I don't give it the money. The money's going to come, okay? The money's always going to be there. But I'm more worried about building my quality and my craft. I give a damn about the money. The money's great. So for my detailing prices, well, I have a website. If you're interested, you can take a look, but it kind of varies depending on what you're looking to get done. I don't have like an exact answer because everyone has a different type of car. So I kind of do like a quote system. So if you're looking to get something a little different, then I kind of work it like that. But for me, at the end of the day, though, it's never about the money for me. Like, yeah, okay, it's great, and I have tell you more about what? I like your questions. You have good questions. I really enjoy this. What you want to know? What is it that you want to know more about? Like the whole, like me building it, or like kind of like how I changed like from then to now as far as my outlook on. Well, it all kind of plays a part into it. That okay, so for my setup, I'll start with my setup and then I'll break into the other thing. So my setup, I was saying this on Monday. The biggest thing for my setup, if you're doing detailing, I don't know what it is. If you're just interested, then for sure. But if you're doing detailing, then I'll give you the product name and everything as well. But for your setup, definitely, it doesn't really matter if you're using electricity or water for your clients in the beginning. It's okay. Like I did that for the longest. Sometimes I still do, and it's fine because then you're not trying to haul. You're trying to keep it as minimal as possible. So you're not trying to haul all this stuff. Definitely, if you're going to start, you really want to be more efficient. An air compressor. You want to Go to Home Depot, Harbor Freight. You can get yourself a little air compressor. That's really good. That's my love. That's my bread and butter in my setup. Then after that, it would probably be my generator because it just makes it mobile. If I'm more mobile, I'm more open to the abilities and things I can do as far as my business. And then from there, really, you don't need to go crazy. A lot of people have so many different types of chemicals for, the leather, the plastics, the under the plastic, the under this. You can just limit yourself to make it as simple as possible. And that was the whole thing for my website, my breakdown, which I'll tie that into now my prices and stuff. Is I go look. When I first started, I love to look at other detailers' websites. I would see, okay, what it is that, and I wouldn't even sit down as like a businessman. I would sit down as a consumer, and I would see, okay, I'm looking at their websites. What is it hard for me to understand? Like, is it tricky? What do I like? When I realized about a lot of people's businesses and their websites, there was so much going on. I mean, like some detailers in just business, they have like 15 different services that they're selling you. Like 15. They have the gold package, the diamond package, the prestige package. They have all these different packages, and it's just so overwhelming. So I realized I kind of, piggybacked off of like In-N-Out and, In-N-Out especially. In-N-Out's menu is super simplistic. You go there, burger, fries, milkshake, and then the hidden menu. That's your add-ons. That's how I made my website. I copied In-N-Out. I looked at how In-N-Out was so successful in the fact that you go there, you already know what you're going to get, okay? It's either going to be your fries, your burger, your milkshake, and then that's kind of it. So I knew making my website and my prices. When I was making my price in the beginning, okay, I would call around and kind of figure out what it is that they're charging. And then obviously from there, I'd go a little under so I could have some room. But my website, I made it simple as possible. I don't need to sell all these different services. Okay. If you want a different service, they call, and those are my add-ons. But other than that, I have two packages. I only have two packages. I have an executive package and I have a prestige package. My executive package is the basic. Okay. It's just, you need a little love, you need some detail. That's your executive. And another one is the prestige. If you're looking for a deep, really good detail, saying that here's prestige. And that's it. I don't go overkill. Some people might think, you know what, you got to have this or you're losing that. I just don't like to be overwhelmed. And I don't want my clients to feel like they're overwhelmed. When they get into my website, it's super simple. I mean, you scroll down at 1, 2, ceramic coating, paint correction, done. And that's kind of it. I don't need it to be, you have to click this link, click that, do all these things. Man, like I tried calling, this guy had an RV yesterday he wanted done. This boggled my mind. This guy had an RV he wanted clean, okay? I called 15 different RV detailers to get a quote, just to understand the ballpark of what it is, they would be charging, all this stuff. Not one answer. If anything, they put me on automated calls where click one. I don't have time for that. I don't got time to sit down and wait for someone to get a hold of me, right? If you want it that bad, you got to be ready. And that was like my whole biggest thing is when I first started the business, it was always being 100% ready in what it is I'm going to do. That if, your coach tells you or someone tells you, hey, do you have the time to wash my car today? And you say, sorry, I don't have the stuff. I can go swing by and grab it. They're going to call someone else. There's so many people being ready. And that's why I was so shocked. I called 15 different people and not one of them picked up. And I was like, holy, like, it just really shows how hungry are people. How serious are you about doing it? I don't know what you're talking about right now. My bad, but I'm a sub with your YouTube and I'm a fan. Keep going. Oh, Mike. No, I'm just here answering everybody's questions. A lot of my subscribers and stuff, especially kids that are my age and have, detailing and stuff, they have questions about what it is I do, my story. And so I decided to just start streaming. And even though nothing serious, just hopping in, just talking, just kind of telling my story and just me personally, and really kind of getting people to understand. Oh, ceramic coating, sealant versus wax. So the best way I can explain it, and look, my way is not always gonna be perfect. Sometimes I'm not perfect as well. So if anyone has any other things to add on to that when I'm done, chime in. But the best way I can explain it, wax is gonna make the car, it has like some protective properties. So it's gonna make the water beat up. It's gonna make a really good gloss, and once you put it on, it's really nice. It brings out that gloss. Ceramic coating is like a step above. The best way I explain is like a tier list. You got your PPF, your protective film, which is in essence, it's like putting a condom on a car. Like it's going to protect the car. It really, really good. And then from there, you got your ceramic coating. Your ceramic coating is pretty neat. I just found this out. But if you put ceramic coating in a bottle cap, right, and you let it dry, because you're supposed to let ceramic coating cure overnight. If you let ceramic coating cure overnight in a little bottle cap, you can actually punch it out, and it's a little silicone. So ceramic coating actually hardens. It's pretty neat. And I actually tried it myself. I put it in a little bottle cap and I popped it out and it hardened. So ceramic coating has way more protective properties than a normal wax. More waxes, it's more for show to really bring that out. And it kind of depends on what you're looking to get. And then you go to your ceramic coating. It's really good for like UV rays, just really hydrophobic, so it really beads up the water. And then on top of that, sometimes this is a misconception, but some people say it protects scratches. It really doesn't protect scratches. It's not that thick to protect scratches. Maybe if it does, like really small swirl marks, if that. But most of the time, it's going to be more for like, UV protection. You get a brand new car. A lot of people, what they do is they don't want to, they PPF the front. So the PPF is basically, like I said, it's like a condom for a car. It's a plastic film that goes over your car. And then from there, that really does protect against rocks, chips. But for then the ceramic coating gets applied to everywhere else, because paint fade, people don't like paint fade. You have a car from a long time. The best way I tell my clients is, look, when I'm trying to tell you about a ceramic coating, number one, did you buy the car or did you lease the car? Because if you lease the car, you don't need to ceramic coat the car, and you shouldn't PPF the car, because you're leasing it for a couple years and then you're giving it to them. If you ceramic coated, the ceramic coating lasts for a number of years, and then the person you're giving it to next just got a free ceramic coat and all that stuff. So I only ceramic coat people's cars majority of the time. I was like, unless they really, really want it. Majority of the time, I'm only ceramic coating a car that you buy, because I don't really see, me personally, I tell them, like, I don't really see a point in you ceramic coating the car that you didn't buy, right? So that's kind of your biggest takeaway is wax. Really good. Wax is really good for shine, really good at beating up water, not as really protective as far as, UV rays, bird droppings, because bird droppings, if bird actually shits on your car, people don't know this, it eats your paint. It's acidic. So it actually eats through your clear coat and leaves like spots. Same thing with dog saliva. Actually, I had this lady, it was hella funny. She was kind of a Karen, but much love to her. She told me she didn't want a ceramic coat. I told her, you should ceramic coat your car. You have a dog, all this stuff. No. Like she lived under a tree and there's hella pigeons. They'd be shitting all over her car. And she said she didn't want a ceramic coating. I was like, okay, that's fine. So I washed her car. She wanted to wax instead. Waxed her car. I guess it happened that her dog got saliva on the hood of her car somehow. When he jumped in, he got saliva on. And she left it on there. She didn't do nothing. Well, when I came back to do a maintenance wash, I washed it off and I thought, like, damn, it looks like a bird dropping. Dog saliva too. I guess saliva does the same thing. The dog saliva actually ate through her paint. And that's kind of where the ceramic coating is different than the wax. It's really good at protecting and taking the damage for all that stuff, rather than your paint taking the damage. It's almost like a little force field. It's like a little bubble around your paint, right? That's kind of like the main takeaways from everything, is that you have one that's, you want more gloss, you want more water beading, and then the other one kind of comes with all of it. It's like it's all your eggs in one basket, kind of. And then the top tier ones, your PPF, but that's hella expensive. I've tried doing PPF. I tried wrapping, and that takes hella patience. I tried throwing it on there real quick. That shit had bubbles and shit. I was like, damn. But it's hard. It's a lot of dedication. I mean, you really got to be patient with a lot of stuff you do. It's like anything. It's like baby steps. You can't just go rush into anything, expect you to be perfect. It takes time, right? And that's kind of like back to the whole thing of my breakdown on like my setup is, I expected at one time I was buying all this stuff, trying to just have everything at once, but it was not like that. It takes time to build up your business. It takes time. At the end of the day, your business and what you do, nothing's going to be a straight sprint. It's going to be a marathon. It takes time. It's long. And sometimes it sucks. Like when I first started, it sucked. I did not enjoy all the time having to wake up at 5:30 in the morning to detail a car. And then from 5:30 after that, go do another car. I was doing 4 cars a day, get home at 10 o'clock at night, detail, and then make a video. It's hard. Like it's hard, especially when you don't have someone helping you, right? You didn't miss much. You didn't miss that much if you want to too. This all gets posted on my YouTube, and I'm going to try doing this every other day. But like I said, Chris, I'm just here chiming in, talking to everybody. And I know I have so many people that I honestly, it's crazy how much love and stuff I get. Because one thing I can say I was very shocked about is when I posted one of my videos and I shake, because growing up, I was always told to shake people's hand, look in the eye, firm handshake, whatever. when I posted a video one time and I shook a guy's hand, and some of the comments they were so shocked that I shook the guy's hand or I shook the person's hand. And I couldn't believe it. Like reading the comments, it really goes to show people's mindset sometimes on what it is going on. I just turned 20 and I've been doing this for a year. No, 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 no. No, so actually that dude, Rick, I love these questions. You got some really, really good questions. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. That's honest. Much love, much love. But I don't plan on doing this till I'm 65. I know everyone knows washing cars is not something that's going to be sustainable when you're older, right? It's wear and tear on your body. I I don't think so. I started this in the beginning as a little side hustle. Like when we were talking, me and you, Rick, were talking about the little side hustle thing. That's when I started this as a side hustle. I didn't even think it was going to be what it is now. I didn't think I'd be sitting down right here talking to people, posting YouTube videos, having people really appreciate what I do. I never thought in a million years that would be like that. I just did it as a way to make a quick buck. I went downstairs my garage. I found McGuire's, Armor All, and I said, screw it. I'm gonna start doing some detailing, make a quick buck for the summer. I was traveling the country for baseball. So I was like, I might as well just do it. Well, I started it and that kind of propelled it in that. But now I'm getting to the point where I want to build it to where I don't have to be doing anymore, where I can maybe mentor kids my age, the older I get, and teach them how, like, I have a little sister. Okay. I have a little sister. And my thing is that it makes me happy to know that I can one day when she gets to that age or my age, that I can show her everything that I've learned, right? And I can teach her, maybe if she wants to be her own businesswoman and start something, I can show her everything and branch that off. And at the end of the day, it's kind of like my whole goal is one time I'm always refer to my parents, but my dad and I were talking, and he told me, I was asking, how do I expand my business? Like I feel good where I'm at now, but how do I expand? How do I take it to that much level? He's like, well, you can't think just like you can't. If you really think about it, a lot of people sometimes are happy where they're at. Have you talked with the House of Rags folks at all? They do nightly podcasts. Essentially, they're looking for people to come tell their story. Might drive some traffic to your channel. That's hella smart. That is gold right there. I have not. And actually, I've been trying so hard to try to get a hold of people, do collaborations. I got schooled yesterday. I bought all this equipment, like my microphone and stuff. And I bought this super good microphone. And I had Razer, which is like a really tough, for anyone that knows microphone and like software and stuff. I had Razer reach out to me. And I was so excited. Every time I doing a collaboration, it was a scam. I was so happy. I was calling everybody, dude, I just got Razer. And I got scammed. It was luckily I didn't pay nothing, but it was not real. It was a scam. I was like, damn, that kind of hurt the soul. But anyways, back to my question. Back to your question, Rick, about am I going to do this till I'm 65? No. I try to think long term. I always looked at it. I love to compare what I do to really help me think and be better at what I do. Is I think long term. I look at it in the stocks. So I invest in stocks. And the best way I can do it, find something that you're good at and you can relate to and apply that into what you're trying to be successful at. So, if you work at McDonald's and you love playing video games, you love playing GTA, look at your McDonald's as a video game. Okay, if I want to get to ranked 5 by X amount of days, I got to hit these steps. Okay, that's how I look at my business. I always look at it as the stocks. I invest in stocks. I do long term. I don't want to play the short game because I know the short game, okay, it may make me money now, but it's not going to make me money in the future. So same thing could be for, am I going to do washing cars at 65? Sure, I can wash cars at 65. Anyone can wash cars at 65. But is that going to be really the smartest thing to do, to be sitting down, gray hair, washing a car at 65? Hell no. I'm probably going to have back problem surgery and I'm probably going to fall and die. Like, it's not sustainable. So I think about how I can make my business grow to where I don't have to be washing the car. I can have someone else doing it for me, You have a concrete goal for the business in 5 years, 10 years, 100%. So if I had to say my 5-year goal of what I want my business to look like, I honestly want to open up a car wash. if I had to. If I could open up a car wash, that's probably in 5 years what I want to do. I definitely see it's bigger than detailing. This is the beauty of owning your own businesses. I see more than just the detail aspect. I'm saving my money to get a property. So I just turned 20 years old. By 21, it's not even 5 years. I hope by next year, when I turn 21, I could put a down payment on a house and I could get my first duplex. I'm not trying to live in it either. I want to rent it out. That's kind of like my goals. I see the best way I can describe how my brain works is kind of all over the place, but I look as my life is like an octopus. Okay. An octopus has got all these different arms moving in all these different, different directions. To some people, it might seem confusing. Like, damn, this guy's all over the place. And a lot of times people look at me and they say, you're all over the place, right? Like, you all over the place. You want to do, property. You want to build your business. You got baseball at the time. You got all these things moving around. What is it you want to do? And I tell them, look, yes, to you, to a lot of people, it seems like I'm going to move in all these different directions, right? But if you think about an octopus, at the end of the day, an octopus is connected to one body, and that's what I look at it as. I got my detailing business that's setting me up for my properties. And then for my properties, I don't know what that's going to open up yet, but everything's connected. It's like playing chess. I'm moving these pieces, so everything's connected to the one part, and that's everything I want to do. Like, I want my main goal same thing to you, Rick. When you asked about the 9 to 5, my dream before my detailing business is to be a software salesperson. I want to follow in my parents' footsteps. My parents do software sales. My mom does marketing. My dad's a salesman. So that's what I want to do. That was my dream before even doing the detailing is I want to do software sales, and I still have the opportunity. The way I look at it is this: I'm always getting better at anything I want to do for right now. Detailing, I could bounce off to detailing and go do software sales. I talk with people all the time. I'm talking with people right now. I'm learning communication skills. That's going to help me when I have to go to a 9 to 5. I've learned all this stuff. I learned how to be self-sufficient in what I have to do. And that's kind of like the beauty of why I didn't really want to do a 9 to 5 when I could. And kudos to 9 to 5. A lot of 9 to 5, you learn so much. And everyone learns different things. Everyone's different. For me, I knew that the best way I learned is I like learning something and telling people about it. And that's why I like streaming. When I sit down and I can stream, again, I'm dyslexic, okay? I'm not the smartest person in probably this out of the 7 people right now. But when I sit down and talk, I get that much, it locks me in and it really helps me, talk about what it is I want to do. And that's why 9 to 5 wasn't my best suit. I knew a 9 to 5 wasn't going to push me to the capability of what my detailing business and owning something that I had to be responsible for. Because at the end of the day, my room 2 days ago was a shit show. I only cleaned it for this reason right here, just to make sure you guys don't say nothing, right? But that's why I started this business, because it gives me so much more room to expand and really open my mind. I love thinking outside the box. Like, I'm the person where I sit down and my mind can't race. I can't even go to bed. I go to bed at like 4 a.m. because I sit down in my bed and I'm looking at the ceiling and I'm thinking about how I can do this or how I can do that. Like, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. And honestly, some people might think I'm crazy. Like, you're like, dude, damn, you think too much, you do all this, but I enjoy it. I enjoy doing all this. And in 10 years, I want to be able to have multiple properties. I want to have 5 properties. I want to build my business and have it being ran by itself, where I'm sleeping at night and it can be doing what it has to do. But at the end of the day, everyone starts somewhere, right? You always start here, and that's the beauty of it. You get to see it get built. And it's hard when you're in the mix of it, because I remember my Nana told me when I first started doing my detailing, I hated it, right? It sucked. I was, like I said, I was doing it was 115 degrees. I'm washing a car. I'm sweating my balls off. It sucked ass, okay? And she told me one time, she goes, I don't even know why you're doing this. Like, you're just going to tire yourself out. And I was like, well, I saw the vision. Some people, they don't see your vision, and that's okay. That's how life is. Okay. That's how everything is. Some people, they don't see what you see, but if you believe it, you go do it. And that's the biggest takeaway. That's why I started this detailing business. I had people tell me the detailing business wasn't going to work out. And you're right. It might not work out, and that's okay, but you're never going to know if you don't try it. So that's why I just did it. Sometimes you got to say, fuck it. Just fuck it. Fuck it and do it. Because if you sit around just saying, yeah, maybe I should do it, maybe I'm not, you're never going to do it. Sometimes you got to just say fuck it and just do it. And that's what I did with my detailing. I just did it. And some people, that's not always the case. Sometimes it doesn't pan out. But it never hurts to try, right? Why not just try it? Why not just give it a shot? You learn from what you're doing. if if I did my detailing business and it didn't work out the way I wanted to, I still learned how to do a lot of the stuff. I learned how to build my own website. It helped me do a lot of things. Like, it really does all play a part in what you want to do. And so that's kind of like the biggest takeaway on why I'm even sitting down here talking to you guys, is that I want to hopefully maybe hear from what you guys know, because I'm always learning. At the end of the day, I love taking advice. I love hearing other people talk. Like, it's I love communication, and detailing in my business, it brings a lot of that. I meet new people every time. I meet people that are VPs. I meet people that are their own business owners, and I sit down, I pick their brain 24/7, day in, day out. I'm trying to understand, how can I get better at what it is I want to be great at? And that's like my dream and my goal for the next 5 years, 10 years, the rest of my life, is to always be learning and always be okay and always be humble. The biggest thing I know for sure, it's like, this is the best way I can describe it. When you go to a restaurant, right? When the owner of the restaurant first opens up, it's amazing. The food's awesome. The food's great. And that's because there's love into the food. He started this on his own. He's showing all the love. But when the second generation of kids come through, they've been given everything. They've been given the restaurant for free car, school's all paid off. They don't know the grind of what it was like when their dad built it or whoever built it. So the food starts going downhill. And that's the biggest thing I always made sure is, even when I do step away from the spotlight of my business, have it running on its own, I'm never going to forget the grind and stuff where it came from. That's why I never delete. Actually, I don't delete my old videos of how shitty my editing was. I don't go back and I delete, the videos of my detailing when the editing was so crappy, because it almost brings me back down to earth on why it is, why I'm doing what I'm doing. And it makes me appreciate everything I'm doing. And so that's why everything I do kind of plays a role into my detail, my business, just life in general, is that I'm doing this so I can build something bigger than just a business. It helps make me better, and it helps. I want to teach other people, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that are like me, right? And a lot of people that have learned differences, a lot of people that didn't have a straight path in life, and that's okay. But I hope I can get on and maybe tell my story on how I started. And, everybody's story is different. Not everybody's got the same story. Not everyone's going to have the same situation. And that's the beauty of it. You're making something out of you're figuring out what makes you special, and you're taking that specialness and you're creating something wonderful. And some people, they figure out later in life. Some people figure it out early on in life. That's just the awesome part of having your own business. In my eyes, for me, is I'm flexible. I get to do, the sky's the limit for me. I can wake up and I think about so many different things on what I want to do, and I just do it. And I have no fear. I learned very early that you just got to do it sometimes. And you might fail hard. Shit. But at least you did it, right? You're never going to know if you don't do it. So you might as well say fuck it and just go do it. But that's basically it. I know I've been chatting for a whole 58 minutes, but I really appreciate everything you guys said, especially all the questions. I always love talking to you guys, having a great time. I'm definitely probably do this in 2 days. What's tomorrow? Wednesday? I'll do it Thursday, same time, 7. 7 was a really good time. Yesterday I did hella late, but 7 o'clock Thursday, and I'll make sure to do it. Would you ever consider doing a skilled or semi-skilled trade ever? Electrician, millwright, robotics. You know what? I have not thought about doing that, but that's actually really interesting. I always try learning new things. That's kind of out of my comfort zone. That's kind of like a risky thing, right? Like today, I definitely should. That's really smart. It's good to learn all those things. And that's actually kind of why I try to do more on like the scratches and stuff on detailing, because it's kind of different. Yeah, that's a good idea, Chris. I don't even know how to make a placeholder. I've only been doing YouTube. I'm not gonna lie. I started this account like 2 months ago. So I still got to figure out a bunch of stuff. When you're 30, you're gonna need to be doing something from 9 to 5. Hopefully when I'm 30, can you do a live when you detail a car, when you give your thoughts on the process on it? Hell yeah, I would. That sounds good. I know, because I'm definitely going to check that out. And to that, what was that one? When you're 30, you're going to need to be doing something from 9 to 5. That is definitely, sometimes that might be the case. I never know. only time will tell if that is how it's going to play out. Right now I'm grinding so that doesn't have to be it. And I want to make sure I can build something, either have my properties and be all set in stone. But again, I want to be a software salesman. So if anything pans out, no harm, no foul. Still get to do what I love. There's so many things I want to do that I love. Business owners don't do 9 to 5. What's up? No, yeah. Business owner. No, business owners is 24/7. Like I'm my own editor, my own website person, my own YouTuber, my own vlogger. I'm my own everything. So if I have to do a 9 to 5, so be it. Because I already have all these different things that I know what to do. It's great. I can't be more excited to know what's the future. Hell yeah. Love the flag. Awesome. Thank you so much. It was great talking. I love answering all those questions, Rick. You have really, really good questions, and it really helped me that's what I need. I need people. That's exactly what I'm doing, is to sit down and talk to people. And really, everyone needs to understand stuff, and that's great. I don't know if I have like the really fast ones. I don't know if you've seen the moment videos. Yeah. Dude, so I'm actually trying to do that. I just partnered with a senior home. So my biggest thing too, I know I said I was gonna get off, but last thing. My biggest thing is I'm always trying to be different than every other detailer, because a lot of people, especially in business, you want to figure out how to separate yourself, right? You want to create space. It's like Kobe said. He said, I would take a shot when I realized that there was enough space where they had the foot planted a different way. So that's kind of the way I look at it. I always want to be a little different than everyone else. That's why I made my name Yay Area Detailing. My biggest goal is to do a collaboration with E40, but that fool does not respond. I don't know how I can get E40 to respond. I'm trying, because on Instagram and all my videos, you guys see me, NFL and all this stuff. But E40, oh my, I've been trying so hard to do a collaboration. I've been getting hold of his manager. I talked to one of his rappers and we were going back and forth on DM. I cannot get a hold of him, and I tag him in everything. So E40, that's my goal. If I can get E40, if me and E40 can do a collaboration, I would probably lose it. But until then, I'm still grinding and chipping away, trying to get a hold of him. But damn, he's a hard person to get a hold of. But yes, back to the lawn mowing thing. I'm actually partnered with the senior home because I want to give back to the people, especially like veterans and the elderly, that can't really go out there and take their car down the street because they can't really see, or whatever the case is. I want to kind of give back. So I'm starting this thing where I'm going to go to senior homes and I'm going to start creating videos on this, because I don't know what lawn mowing we're talking about, but the guy that I saw, he goes to random strangers' doors, he knocks on the door and he gives a free, he mows people's lawns for free. And that's kind of like what I want to do. But I want to do the opposite. I want to go to senior homes and I want to go surprise, an elderly person with a free car detail. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I just talked to one of the people that's in this place in Walnut Creek that I just partnered with, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to surprise one of the people, either veteran, preferably. I really want to target, probably veteran or people that really served our country and stuff. But whatever the case is, elderly person, veteran, whoever can get it, I want to do that. I want to start making those videos. And to be honest, my dream one would be go to like a Safeway and just like show up to the cash register and just tell the cashier, hey, I want to detail your car for free, or something like that. Like, be like, what the fuck? But like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start making those videos. I tried making one of them. It was kind of hard because I live in Oakland, and where I live, it's not the safest place. So random stranger coming up to you asking if they can wash your car for free, and for you to hold their keys is very like, hell no, dude, you tripping. So, but that's what I really want to do. Luckily, Walnut Creek, it's more mellow, laid back. But that's what definitely something that those videos are definitely gonna be coming soon. And I'm definitely going to do it. But hell yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll be streaming on Thursday. And Mike, I'm definitely going to figure out how to get that thing pinned, because I know it. That is probably a lot of the problem. It's hard when I just randomly hop on stream and then people are just like, oh shit, like, oh, he's on stream. Like, it's just kind of random last second. At least if it's already there. That's what I try to do with the schedule time, but it really posts the way I wanted to post. But anyways, I'm dropping a video tonight on how I fixed my friend's, paint fade. Car looked hella good. And then I'll be streaming on Thursday. And I'm just going to keep streaming. I'm going to be here for a whole year. I'm still going to school, obviously, but I'm going to transfer to a 4-year, hopefully in the next year and a half. But for right now, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be streaming. I'm going to do all my shit. I'm going to grind my business with y'all. And I can't wait to see how everything goes and hear from all you guys. Hopefully we get some more people flying in. The more we do this, the more it becomes like consistent. But thank you so much. Much love to all you guys. And I'll catch you Thursday, same time. Deuces.